episode of Midnight Sun. Today I want to dive into the movie They Clone Tyrone. This movie, yes, this was one of those. This was one of the ones that you need to pay attention to. The type of movies that you need to not just watch for entertainment, but to watch for the gems of what's going on around you. Like I said in my last video about the Enter the Spider, or what is it, Spider Verse? My bad. Like I said last movie, that we need to start watching movies to not only just movies but music, all forms of art, all forms of media. We need to start actually seeking the truth within things and not just taking things as entertainment or something to laugh at, something to basically tune out the world with. You should use these things to tune into the world with, because art reflects life, right? So why wouldn't a movie reflect life? Why wouldn't music reflect life? Why wouldn't all these things reflect each other to see what's going on? And some of the things are put in your face for a reason. Everything has its purpose. Everything has its meaning. Everything has its own frequency. And some frequencies are high, some frequencies are low. But most of the things that people are tuned into, especially music in our communities, is low vibrational. It's low vibrational music. I'm not saying all music is low vibrational. I'm not saying all artists release low vibrational music only. But the majority of things we hear nowadays on the radio or just the most popular artist, it's all low vibrational, low frequency energy, and it's constantly being fed into the youth, people my age, people older generations. But most of the older generations had better quality of music, had higher vibrational music. So yeah, let's dive into this movie. First and foremost, the most obvious thing in the movie was the stereotypes of the characters. Every character in this movie that had their spotlight, that had their moment of fame, was a stereotype. You had Tyrone, who is a drug dealer. He lives in the trap. He survives in the trap. And we have the prostitute, the hoe, and we have the pimp, and we have the thugs. We have all stereotypes that you can think of within this type of community. And I feel like most black movies are only based on these stereotypes. Most black movies in the past, like the 90s and on forward, are based on this type of environment. And yes, most black people are in these environments. This is not something that's made up, but it's also something that keeps us stuck in that mindset of this is what it has to be, this is what we have to be, this is where we have to be, and this is how we have to be. Like, when we're depicted only in these character roles, that's when it's like people's brains get set on, okay, this is just how it is, this is how it's going to be, when it doesn't have to be that way. And that's basically really one of the underlying messages in the movie, is like, it doesn't have to be this way, you don't have to live this way. And that's what the whole trap means. The trap is literally a prison for your mind, a prison for your self-expression, a prison for your abundance, financial prosperity, emotional stability, all types of things that you can name. Like, black people have been trapped within the traps, within the projects, within the hoods, within the ghettos of America. And I'm not saying it's only America, I'm not saying that, but that's where we're focused on in this movie. It's America, and it's the black communities within America that this is basically showing you right in your face. This is how it is. They clone Tyrone. Who's Tyrone? It's you. It's literally you. You are every character in this movie besides they. And we're going to get into who they are after this. But the stereotypes is basically fractions or fragments of you, the black viewers that are watching this movie, because that's majority of who's watching this anyway. That's who this movie was made for. So yeah, they cloned Tyrone, or did they clone you? Or are you a clone of Tyrone? Are you a fragment or a fractal of Tyrone? And when we talk about the trap, like, it's literally telling you what it is. I know our culture embraces the trap. I know our culture coined the term the trap, but it's deeper than that. This is spiritual warfare we're talking about. And that's how spiritual warfare works, through subliminals, through psychological warfare, through oppression, through suppression. You're trapped. You're trapped in this stereotype. You're trapped in this community. You're trapped in this reoccurring traumatic experience over and over again. Something good happens to you, something terrible happens. Because you're trapped. You're going in circles. You are a rat in a maze. You are a rat in a maze. And a rat is the main thing that people in these communities hate. But everybody in the community is a rat. Literally. Not physically, but literally. You're a rat. You are selling your people out by choosing to only embrace this, what you're given. And you don't question reality. You don't question why. You don't question how. You don't question when. And you don't have the bravery to face yourself. You don't have the bravery to heal your traumatic wounds that are passed down through your bloodline. Excuse me. So you become trapped. You become trapped in this traumatic bond with this environment that is cursed, basically, that has blood in the soil. Think about these communities. Yes, good things can happen in these communities. Good things can come from these communities. I'm not saying that it's completely like just pure chaos, but the overall product of the trap is nothing good. You're selling a product back to a community that's harming the community. You're getting money from it, but the end result is either death or prison. Like, you're not gonna make it out of the trap because you give in to the trap. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. Like, all these old quotes and shit, that's all true. Like, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. These things happen every day in the trap, in these communities. Like, we got violence, we got people competing for money, for territory, for drugs, for women. Like, the spirit within the community is a sour one. It's a spirit of confusion, a spirit of competition, a spirit of struggle, a spirit of not knowing who you are. And like, this movie displays that perfectly. That's why I like it so much. It's because it's reflecting back like what we go through. And no matter where you're from, this community is there. Especially if you're a black man, black woman in America. No matter where you're from, like, even up here in Alaska, I grew up around a lot of shit that I did not need to be around. I've seen a lot of things at young ages that I did not need to see. Like, you would be amazed by like how common this is in America. Like, just because you're from this state or this city or that city doesn't mean we're not fucking in the same bullshit. Doesn't mean we're not going through the same type of shit that we can't relate and see eye to eye and be like, oh shit, you're not my enemy. You are my brother. You are my sister. You are a reflection of me. We have been cloned. We have been mimicked and mocked and scrutinized and kept in this project. We have been manipulated for so long that we don't even see the manipulation anymore. We have been toyed with for so long that we started to play each other. We started to manipulate and lead each other on in all types of shit. Now there's such thing as black on black crime because we allow people to plant things in our head. It's like psychological warfare again. Like, this is all what it is. It's all spiritual warfare. It is a war for your spirit, for your soul, to keep your soul coming back. And that's why Tyrone kept coming back. He will get killed, he will come back as a clone. He's stuck in the karmic wheel. Niggas don't die, they multiply. That's what that saying means? Is that what that saying means? You kill one nigga, another one's gonna take his place? Another stereotype, another statistic? I want y'all to sit and think about like what all these things mean. Like, what does trap mean? What does all types of shit mean in our community? Because sometimes you gotta realize like a lot of things in our culture are actually what keeps us back. There's a lot of poisonous things in our culture. And you can say that about any other culture too, don't get me wrong, but we're focused on us, bro. We're focused on us. I'm focused on us. Like, I don't care about the other cultures. This is about us. The movie is about us. That's why I like it so much, because finally we get a project, a sci-fi project. Not saying there's no other ones, because Jordan Peele out here doing work, doing a lot of work. But his is more. No, Jordan Peele is doing a lot of work. But this one was more based on the community as a whole, not just one person. Like Get Out was about one person, one dude's decisions. But this is about a collective coming together and realizing what the fuck is going on. And that's exactly what we need. Like, come on, man. Now I want to get into who they is, who they are. Um, when they finally figure out about these strategically placed white men within the community, they either work at a gas station. They basically have jobs or points of power within the community to keep us regulated, to keep an eye on us, to keep their system operating. And it's like, wow, that's literally what's happening in the real life community. Like, a lot of these people got high paying jobs. They got authoritative jobs that we all know, like the popo. Not saying that black people can't be cops either, but majority, we all know what's going on. So these people are placed in strategic places and they're manipulating you right in front of your eyes. They're keeping you stuck right in front of your eyes. They're selling you products that are keeping you from evolving or from self-realization. Like, it's a lot of shit in this movie. So, but this kind of reminded me of They Live. Like, once the dude put the glasses on, he couldn't see the illusions anymore. He could only see what was actually happening, which was programming. The aliens or whoever they were programming humans to basically be sedated, to be calm, to be stupid, to be ignorant and blind to what's going on. And that's exactly who they is in this movie too. Like, you got the dude that worked at the gas station, you got the DJ, you got the people that are moving the grape juice, the perm products. They're everywhere. They're working against you by selling you products that are for you, So I just want people to realize who they is. Like, it's not that deep. You don't have to look that deep because it's right in front of you. You see them now? It's right in front of you. Everywhere you go out in society, they're right there. Their products are right there, telling you to sleep, telling you to be sedated, telling you to calm down, telling you to be ignorant, telling you to turn the other cheek, telling you to not ask questions. Feel me? That's who they is. They is who they are. They're gonna still be who they are until we see who they are. Let's talk about their food that they were selling, which was the chicken. It'll be chicken. Another stereotype in our stereotypical communities that we kind of prove that are right stereotypes, which is ironic. It's like, is it a stereotype or is it a manufactured fact at this point? Is the chicken really poisoning us in some type of way that make us so joyful and so happy that we don't even see what's going on around us? Is that a form of gluttony? Like, is our greed so bad that we don't even see what we're doing to ourselves? Like, do we not see that we're eating ourselves into deeper bondage or deeper forms of ignorance? Or let's talk about the perm or the hair pomade, whatever it was, that was making women more calm and accepting of their reality or accepting of the shit that they really didn't have to go through. We see a lot of women settling in real life for shit they don't have to go through. And I'm not just saying that to say that. Like, that's facts. Like, and there's a lot of women that are waking up right now that are saying, oh, I'm going to choose myself. I don't need you. I can do bad all by myself. But there are a lot these days that are choosing themselves and doing good for themselves. And I applaud that because, like, our parents' generation, their parents' generation, the women were more submissive to mistreatments, to bullshit, to being lied to, all types of shit. But and if you think about it, They all had perms. They all manipulated their hair. They all put chemicals in their scalp, on their crown. They all didn't protect their head. They didn't wear anything on the crown to protect them from psychic attacks, from subliminals, from being brainwashed pretty much. So it was easy for them to be led astray, to be lied to be led on, and all types of shit. And that's what this represented in the movie. Like the woman in the shop was getting a perm, and she was just basically accepting all the shit that she didn't truly want in life, all the shit that she truly wasn't happy with. Think about that shit. You don't have to physically put nothing in your head to do that to you these days. Like now you can watch shows, you can watch movies, you can listen to music, and it'll all get into your brain and make you think it's okay. If she went through it and she got a family and all this, a roof over her head, a man or whatever, then maybe it's okay. But that's manipulation. That's being persuaded. That's being easily influenced. That's settling for less. And that's what the perm represented in this, because it's like you're taming your nature when you perm your hair. You're taming your raw divine nature when you perm your hair. Think about nature, like all the trees and the vegetation, it grows upwards. It reaches towards the sun. And when you cut all that down, you're basically cutting off all the oxygen on the planet. Now the beings on the planet can't breathe properly. Now you got more male trees than female trees. Allergies going crazy within the people because you don't have trees properly in their community. You don't have vegetation to counteract that. So think of a perm as deforestation. It's basically the same thing. You're flattening the earth's antenna. Like the trees, that's life. Why would you cut that down? Your hair, that's life. Why would you perm that down? Just to look like the European standpoint of beauty. And that shit is so outdated. Like, stop. You don't have to look like them. And I'm not saying that to bash them. I'm saying that to awaken you to your true beauty. Like, you don't have to do that. You were born beautiful. And you will always be beautiful as you are. That's just like church. Like when they say God accepts you as you are, be yourself. Stop putting these chemicals on your body to appear a certain way. Stop doing this or that to appear a certain way that alters your beauty, that alters your natural beauty. Like, stop, because that's settling for less. That's settling for less when you manipulate your looks to look like someone else. Knock that shit off. Let's talk about the grape juice. The grape juice was basically, in my eyes, it was a form of alcohol. It was a form of being under the influence. In this movie, the grape juice was used in a church. And once everybody drank that grape juice, they became so intoxicated with God or worship that they basically lost sense of all reality around them. Like everybody just went into a frenzy of dancing and screaming and shouting and twerking, and it was weird. Like, what? And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with worship or whatever religion you want to practice, but that's another form of control. It's another form of manipulation that our oppressors used against us. And now it's to the point where we use it on ourselves. To keep ourselves in bondage. To keep ourselves from remembering who the fuck we are. Like, this shit, you can't make it up because it's literally, if you use your eyes, you will see it. I'm not just saying this shit to say it. Like, come on now. Like, you can accept Jesus as your savior, but like, you also got to save yourself, bro. You got to see yourself as the Christ, because that was his teaching. That's the Christ's teaching. It's within us all. Like, God is within us all. And when you look for that savior that they painted, that they gave to our ancestors and said, this is who's going to save you. Jesus Christ, the white Jesus Christ with blonde hair and blue eyes. That is they. That's they. That's their image. Again, that's their form of beauty. That's their form of God or divinity. Their form of divinity is control over you. I'm gonna say that again. Their form of divinity is control over you. And I'm not saying all of them are like this. I'm saying the ones in control, the ones who are manipulating, the ones who have manipulated in the past, the ones who pass down their manipulation tactics to their children, and on and so forth. Like, this shit is still happening. And if it wasn't, we will be in a much different situation right now. The world will be much different right now. Another form of control they was using when they went in the club. I know I'm skipping over a lot of shit because I don't want to decipher the entire movie because, I mean, you can do that on your own. I'm not here to spoon feed you anything. I'm just here to speak my mind. Like, if you want to know the truth, you're going to seek it on your own. I'm not here to babysit nobody on their spiritual journey or on their mental journey, whatever. I'm not. Like, this is a spiritual war. We need soldiers. We don't need motherfuckers who are like, oh, elaborate on that, No, nigga, go look it up yourself. Go on your own journey and discover it yourself. Use your own mind for once. That's what I'm trying to teach you how to do. I'm not here to always be there for you. I'm here to show you one thing and dip on to the next. You can join me if you want, but I'm still not gonna spoon feed you. Anyways, but the music in the strip club. Once they found all these laboratories underground, they head up this elevator, right? Which the elevator was in the church after they drunk the grape juice. They saw all these people getting elated and intoxicated off of grape juice in worship of Jesus Christ. They find an elevator at the preacher stand. I forgot the name of what you call that, podium or something, but it was an elevator. And they went down and they discovered all this type of shit, which was in a way it was an awakening for Tyrone, for the other two characters. I can't remember their name right now. Once they discovered that they were being cloned, that was their spiritual awakening. The girl, she was my favorite character because she had the truth seeker type of DNA within her. Like, she already had a feeling that the world, like, there was some type of mystery to the world. And you can see that when they go to her room in her house, but that's later on in the film. I'm kind of doing it all out of order right now, but those who hear me will hear me. Those who see me will see me. But anyways, they have a spiritual awakening, and this leads to them discovering so much, right? But that elevator represented them going up and down, heaven and hell, elevation, descending, the crown, the root chakra, anything of polarity. Like, the elevator represented polarity, and that's how they started to uncover the truth, because you have to have that polarity. You have to know the knowledge of good and evil to see God, to see any type of thing. That's how you see the manipulation going on in the world. You have to know the knowledge of good and evil. And what's good for they is evil to us. And that's what they were discovering. Their good was evil to us, to the people in the community, to Tyrone, to all the characters in the community. And once they got out of the lower levels of the facility where they were cloning people, they find themselves exiting out of a stripper's lock, another stereotype. And as they escape through the club, the DJ, which is a white man with I think he had an afro, that wasn't the one with the afro, but he was the white DJ, and he was contacted by another person who was like, hey, stop them. So he puts on this hypnotizing music, and it puts everybody in the club in a trance. It's like this slow-paced, depressing sounding music. It puts everybody in a like spiral like trance. And I think Jamie Foxx's character gets put in a trance. The girl doesn't. I can't remember if Tyrone did or not, but yeah, this is showing you that music has power over us too, especially music made by our own people. Like, the industry puts out certain topics of music, certain not genres, but like I said earlier, the vibration of the music, the resonance and the lyrics, all that shit is strategic. Not saying this stuff is not going on in the world. Like, artists still have their form of self-expression, but this is all you hear nowadays is low vibrational music, and it puts our people in a trance, and it can command our people to do certain things, like to think certain ways, and that's what this represents. Like, this clear as day. Like, I shouldn't even have to say this to y'all because it's, man, come on, bro, come on now. If you're on this path, you already know all this stuff. If you're not, if you're new here, if you're new to this, if you're new to any of this information, don't be afraid, or don't, let this drive you crazy or nothing. But just know that you have to be mindful of what you allow in your mind, that you have to be mindful of what you allow into your ears, your eyes, your mouth. Be careful what you digest, because that can control you.